Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are cracking open a tool that's literally changing everything, ChatGPT. If you've ever played around with it and thought, I'm not really getting what I want, then stick around. This is for you. And that quote right there, that's the whole secret. The new essential skill isn't learning to code, it's learning how to talk to an AI using plain old English. It's all about asking the right questions the right way. And today, we're going to show you exactly how to do that.
So here's what we're going to cover in just the next few minutes. We'll start with what ChatGPT really is, then we'll get into mastering the art of conversation with it. We'll show you how to build the perfect prompt, unlock some crazy powerful features beyond just text, and, importantly, how to avoid the common traps. Finally, we'll put you in the driver's seat. Let's go.
Okay, so what actually is ChatGPT? It's really easy to just think of it as a fancy Google search, but trust me, that doesn't even begin to cover it. The key word here is conversational. A search engine just fetches existing information. ChatGPT understands context and generates brand new stuff. So stop thinking of it like a search bar. Think of it more like a creative partner, or maybe a super capable assistant who's read, well, pretty much the entire internet. All right, let's dive into the most important part, because this is where most people hit a wall. The quality of what you get out of ChatGPT is 100% dependent on the quality of what you put in. Just look at this. The difference is night and day, right? A vague prompt like, tell me about intermittent fasting gets you, well, a generic, boring textbook answer. But when you add those little details, who it's for, what to focus on, the format you want, suddenly you get something you can actually use. It's the difference between asking, where's the city, and what's the quickest walking route to the train station from here. Details are everything. And you don't have to get it perfect on the first try. The conversation is a two-way street. ChatGPT remembers what you've talked about in that chat, so you can get a response and then say, okay, that's good, but make it shorter. Or, hey, can you put that into 5 bullet points? Or even turn that into a table. This back and forth is the real magic.
So this brings us to the crucial skill, giving better instructions. We're not just asking questions anymore, we're actually engineering prompts. Let's build a perfect one, piece by piece.
This simple 4-step formula is what separates the pros from the beginners. First, give it a role. Then, provide some context. Be super specific about the task. And finally, define the format. When you do this, you're not just telling the AI what to do, you're telling it how to think.
And here's what that looks like in a template. Seriously, this thing is a game changer. You can use it for absolutely anything. Marketing plans, project outlines, even writing a speech. You just fill in the blanks and you're basically handing the AI a complete job description for the task. It's that powerful.
Okay, let's kick it up a notch, because the ChatGPT of today is so much more than a chatbot. It's a full-on multimedia powerhouse.
This is where it gets really, really cool. You can upload a dense PDF report and just ask it, what are the key takeaways? You can feed it a spreadsheet and tell it to find weird patterns. You can literally describe an image in your head and it will create it for you. It's not just a writing tool anymore. It's an analysis and creation engine. But we've got to be smart about this. For all its power, ChatGPT is not perfect. And knowing its limits is just as important as knowing its strengths. So let's talk about how to use it safely. You need to know this term, AI hallucination. Look, the AI isn't lying to you. It doesn't know what truth is. It's a language prediction model. Its one and only job is to create an answer that sounds plausible. And if the most plausible sounding answer is completely made up, well, that's what it's going to give you. A classic example of this is the King Sejong MacBook Pro incident. Someone jokingly asked about this, impossible historical event, and instead of just saying, that didn't happen, ChatGPT made up a whole detailed story about it, citing fake historical records. It's hilarious. But it's also a perfect warning. You have to verify anything important.
So here's your checklist. Always fact check. Never, ever put sensitive personal or company data in there. And be aware of potential copyright issues. The best way to think about it is like you have this brilliant intern who's also a bit of a pathological liar. Use their drafts, but always, always check their work.
So after all that, what's the big takeaway from this explainer? What's the one thing to remember?
It's this. ChatGPT is an amazing co-pilot. But you are always the pilot. You're in the driver's seat. We've gone from simple questions to pro-level prompts.
And the lesson at every step is that the tool is only as good as the person giving the directions. Your skill makes all the difference.
So now you know the secrets. The tool is right there at your fingertips. And that hottest new programming language? It's one you already speak fluently. The potential is absolutely massive. The only question left is, what are you gonna build first?